Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today we just moved the sheep onto another strip here. It's got some silvo pasture on the edge of it over there that we cleared up like 3 or 4 years ago. Lots of acorns. And then out here we've got lots of autumn olives and ragweed. And there's grass under the ragweed, but the cattle were here about 7 days ago now. And we are in a really nasty drought. We haven't had any rain for pretty close to a month and a half. It's been hot, and I think we got a half an inch 10 or 12 days ago. Anyway, these great big autumn olives, when we leased this farm, they were, they might have been the size of that one right there. They weren't very big, but they're just absolutely exploding. Some of these are 30, 40 feet across. And they've actually now are thick enough that they've killed the grass out. So what we're doing is we're going in and coppicing them, and they will come back. You can't get them all, but we're cutting them off and we're putting them out here like on 10-foot centers. We did this yesterday. I can go over and show you what the sheep did to them here in a minute. The boys are just gonna walk real slow behind the sheep and push them up here. I'm gonna back off. I'm gonna show you all what these sheep do to autumn olives once you lay them on the ground. It's actually quite good feed. I'm gonna get away so they come on up here. I tell you what, you know it's dry when sheep just walking through the grass are churning up dust. And there's not hardly any bare sunlight. I mean, I don't see any. They're getting dust from somewhere. Here they come. You lay a big old autumn olive. See, this is one tree. And it had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15. It had 15 trunks coming out of one tree. But now that we've laid them on the ground, it seemed like as the day went along yesterday, as they got most of their grazing done, that's when they really started attacking the trees. Pretty cool though. You got all these green leaves and we're in a drought, feeding the sheep autumn olive trees. And I guarantee you the leaves on those autumn olives are extremely, there's the dog ladies walking right into the middle of them. I mean, look at them. Lady wouldn't run them away. She's just checking out things. That's the best guard dog we got right there, folks. She is a beaut. Super, super aggressive. Well, they're going after it. Kind of does your heart good, doesn't it, Isaac?
It makes you feel like it's worth it to do all that work for them.
Yeah.
And they're eating them like that.
Yeah. So that autumn olive tree mined a lot of minerals from its roots up onto those leaves. And now the sheep are eating those leaves. And they're gonna poop it all over this pasture, so you're spreading minerals that your grasses just couldn't get a hold of. They're going after it.
Yeah. Stripping it clean.
Yeah. It's amazing to watch a sheep graze though. They've got a little bitty mouth. And a cow, they take a big old mouthful, but a sheep's got that little bitty mouth and the lips are just moving at 90 to nothing. That's why they can make. Yeah. It's crazy is how much faster they graze their mouth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right here. Yeah. That bush is in trouble. The thing, if you have a lot of multiflorous bushes on your farm, sheep or goats, either one, will absolutely take care of it. I did want to give a plug for a friend of ours. He's down south Missouri. He's got some really nice Kinko Spanish cross billies. These are billies that are about 7 months old, and he's gonna, I think he's got 14 of them maybe. Anyway, he's wanting to sell them. If you're interested in those Spanish Kinko cross goats, he's never wormed them. Used in hot wire. They've got guard dogs running with them. Just really nice goats. He's basically, the only reason he's selling some of these is they are in a drought, and he's having to destock a little bit. If you want some really good billies, these would be billies that have never been wormed, and some of his best. He said early on he got rid of all the stuff that didn't work and kept the stuff that did, and that's the way he manages his livestock, which is a good way to manage it. I'm gonna walk you over here and show you. I'll just meet y'all over here at the truck. I just wanted to show them what these other trees look like. Now this is 12 hours. We cut these down last night, and we came back this morning, and we were surprised. They got pretty much everything they could reach. They couldn't get the top leaves. I pulled one right up here by the road. It seemed like the mistake we made yesterday is we bunched them together too tight. You can see how tight they are. They still went in and ate a lot of it. I'm going to show you what they did to the one that I separated up here. Well, I mean, this one over here, there's not a whole lot left in here. Here we left one stalk. I wanted a little shade out here from my guard dogs. They'll come back. You don't have to worry about autumn olive. They will come back. See, we did a bunch more down there today, and here they come. Sheep are movers. They just move constantly. People say you can't trample forage with sheep. They're not big enough animal. Yeah, they are. And it's because they move all the time. Man, they put the hammer on this. That's chicory. They ate that. And all the ragweed, common ragweed, it's just toast. They get that. The seed, when it gets nice and hard, they like it. They eat it like candy. There they go after those. Look what they did to this honey locust. This honey locust had all its leaves yesterday. And today, you know, there's a little patch. There's a little patch. See, when a tree gets defoliated by a ruminant, it's not gonna do the best in your environment. And that's why if you're planting trees and you've got sheep in there, you really need to protect the trees. Because I can show you over here, this one, they've outstripped this poor thing clean. Hey, big boy. That's a good dog. He loves Isaac. Him and Lady both. They'll come up and almost demand a pet. Tell you what, we've got a good set of young men. And yeah, I didn't tell them to go do that. They just went and did it. They knew they needed to put in a paddock for tomorrow, and there they are. They're going to do it. While Greg's up here shooting the video. It's kind of nice to have people that know what to do without being told what to do. That's a luxury. It hasn't always been that way. Sometimes you get young folks, they just haven't worked, you know, and they grew up not having to do any work, and then when they do have to get out and work, they don't know how. And it's actually kind of sad, but it's the environment we're living in today, unfortunately. Oh my goodness, what's that? That's a dung beetle. You can see they hammered them. I mean, there's not many leaves on them. If they can get to them, they strip them. They got that one. Yeah, so sheep, if you want brush control and weed, I mean, this was an ironweed. That poor thing got. I don't say poor thing. I'm glad they ate it. Common ragweed is a bad one. Cattle don't like it very well, but sheep work on it. And here's a buckbrush. Usually we don't get any thing on buckbrush. We don't get much consumption, but they're eating it. Buckbrush is a plant that they'll graze in the wintertime, but they're eating that one. Look at that. They absolutely nailed it. Of course, they couldn't reach those leaves. But now that when they clean all this up, we move the sheep on out of here. I'm gonna grab the grapples on the tractor, and literally I can clean all this up in probably 15 minutes. Because the nice thing about autumn is when you stick them all together, especially pushing them all into a windrow, they just stick together. You can't get them apart. So all this autumn olive will be made into rabitats down there in that holler over the hill there. We don't burn a lot of brush anymore. I used to burn a lot, and I don't anymore. I like to put it down in a draw somewhere where smaller critters can get in there and make a home and get away from the coyotes, and provide habitat for your ground mammals, the little guys like the voles and the mice. The coyotes may not be up there trying to kill your sheep. Speaking of which, we are gonna have a young dog. He's 4 months old. He's been running in a pen with chickens and I think it's a couple goats. He's hot wire trained, and it's a beautiful pup. If you're interested, email Jan. Go to our website, greenpasturesfarm.net. Hey lady, how you doing? Folks, if you don't have dogs with your sheep, it's not a matter of time. It's not a matter, let me rephrase that. It's not a matter of if the predators will kill them. It's just when. And they will. Once they start killing them, it's hard to get them stopped. So, put dogs in there. Put something in their fangs. You garden against fangs. You look, there's something out there wanting to rip the throat out of your sheep. Well, then put a dog out there that can bark, and he can go after a coyote. And I love the picture one of my customers sent me from Ohio. We sold him a big stout dog, and I don't know, it was like a couple weeks later, he fired this picture to me. I couldn't believe it. It was the whole tail of a coyote. Something had ripped the tail off the butt of that coyote. Something, that big guard dog, he was playing with it. He was using it like a feather duster the next morning, chewing on it, jumping, throwing it in the air, and playing with it like a cat. He'd ripped the tail off that coyote. Now that's a coyote that's probably not going to come back and bother those sheep ever again. He learned that you lose your tail if you go in there. So you can't do that with a mule or a llama. They're not going to rip the tail off a coyote. Now they might chase them, but they may not. If there's a bunch of coyotes, they may try and save themselves and just run. The dog's going to stand there and bark and probably attack. So that's what you need. Folks, I'm going to get out of here. If you would, hit that subscribe button on the way out, and we'll see you next time.